Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the War Diary. On the 368th day of the war, here are the main highlights of the day as of 7:30 p.m. Beirut time. Today marks the first anniversary of the war between Israel and Hezbollah, following a year of escalating conflict on the southern front. The Israeli army has expanded its operations into Lebanese territory over the past 2 weeks, resulting in over 2,000 casualties, while Hezbollah continues its retaliation against Israel. Sources told Al Arabiya that high-level meetings are underway to protect Beirut airport. Lebanon's transport minister informed AFP that Beirut received assurances that Israel would not target the country's only international airport, although these assurances fell short of guarantees. In the morning, the Israeli army announced the elimination of Suhail Hussein Hassani, Hezbollah's head of operations. They also commenced ground operations against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon's western sector. In Beirut, drone flights resumed, along with new evacuation warnings. Israeli airstrikes targeted Tayyoun Shwaifet and the vicinity of Har Tahrik. Once again, the suburbs were targeted, including a strike near the airport. In southern Lebanon, Israeli forces launched a new wave of airstrikes on several towns in the Tyre district, Khiem, Arab Salim, and Nabatiyeh. An attack in Adloun Zahrani killed 3 people, while a homeowner was rescued alive from the rubble. A strike on Aitait also resulted in 3 deaths, with the civil defense retrieving the bodies. Moreover, Israeli aircraft targeted the main pipeline of the Litani River toward the Qasimiyya irrigation project, which carries over 260,000 cubic meters of water daily to irrigate around 6,000 hectares of agricultural land along the southern coast. This action violates international humanitarian law and jeopardizes the Litani River's viability for investment in southern Lebanon, reigniting concerns about Israel's ambitions regarding Lebanon's water resources. Authorities are taking temporary measures to divert water to prevent flooding and will take necessary steps to resume the irrigation project. Israeli warplanes also struck a house in our zone, causing injuries, and targeted Al-Khadr in the Biqa' region, resulting in 5 deaths. Another strike in Sahmar led to 3 deaths. Israeli army spokesperson Avichai Adra'i stated that targeted ground operations have begun in southern Lebanon against Hezbollah infrastructure. He announced that Golani Brigade forces had taken control of a Hezbollah complex and destroyed weaponry within it. On the anniversary of the Lebanese support front for the Gaza Strip, Hezbollah reported 3,194 operations against Israeli sites since October 8, 2023. Deputy Secretary General Naim Qassem made a televised address reassuring that Hezbollah is fully operational and ready, asserting that the group would make it impossible for Israelis to return to the north. On Tuesday, Hezbollah also announced it targeted Israeli artillery positions in Dalton and Dishon and bombarded Haifa and Kiryat, while the Israeli army reported about 105 rockets launched from Lebanon toward Haifa Bay. This escalation follows Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's vow to continue the sacred war until Hezbollah and Hamas are defeated. Hezbollah claimed it forced Israeli troops to retreat after they crossed into Lebanon near a UN peacekeeping post. On Tuesday night, UNIFIL reported that Israeli soldiers withdrew from Maroun al-Ras after raising the Israeli flag, provoking Lebanese citizens. In Gaza, at least 56 Palestinians were killed in Israeli airstrikes on Monday night, with another 43 killed during the day, following a strike on the Jabalia refugee camp. Gaza's Ministry of Health reports over 41,965 deaths since the war began. On the diplomatic front, Qatari Minister of State for International Cooperation Lulwa bint Rashid Al Khater arrived in Beirut to inaugurate an air bridge of Qatari aid. 2 Qatari military planes delivered medical supplies and equipment to Minister of Health Firas Al Abyad and Minister of Environment Nasser Yassin. The Qatari minister condemned attacks on Lebanese civilians and criticized Israel's expansion of conflict beyond Gaza. She called for a serious international response for an immediate ceasefire, echoing earlier appeals from French President Macron and Arab states to halt arms supplies to Israeli forces. That's it for today's recap. See you tomorrow for another roundup of the situation. Until then, stay connected on our website www.thisisbeirut.com.lb and on our social media platforms.